G'day there, my name is Charlie Johns and today I'll be analysing the sport delivery systems which were instrumental in the development of one of Australia's greatest ever cricketers, Mark Waugh. I chose to study Mark Waugh as my prominent Australian sport participant because growing up and loving cricket the way I did, I had a lot of DVDs around the house and was taken away by watching Mark and the way he went about the great game of cricket with such a laid back and easygoing approach which really spoke to me. I'll be doing this with the help of Mark Waugh's biography, appropriately named Mark Waugh, the biography, which was written by James Knight and published in 2002, around the same time Mark Waugh announced his retirement from international cricket. There is no textbook definition for sports delivery systems, but going off notes I took in class, I came up with this possible explanation. Sport delivery systems are a range of agencies that combine, compete and contribute to the delivery of sport for all. These agencies and the competitions and services they deliver to participants at whatever level they're able to achieve comprise the delivery systems of sport. These sport delivery systems can be in the form of sport organisations, government agencies, advocacy groups, health and education agencies, media and the sponsors. They also exist at various levels, for example local, state, national. It is important to examine and understand sport delivery systems. Examining and being able to understand the sport delivery systems can bring us valuable information on how our national athletes progress from level to level in their respective sport. They provide us with a broader understanding of what needs to be improved in Australian sport through various competitions. My analysis will begin with a discussion of Mark Waugh's experiences of sport delivery systems in cricket, paying particular attention to the format of competitions, major events, and the sport and its organisational structures. I have also added some additional information used to include differing points of view and to demonstrate a grasp of the sport delivery systems in Australian cricket. Mark became involved in many sports as a child, coming from a very sport-enthused family. His parents playing a fair share of sport in their day, which included tennis and cricket. He was introduced to cricket at the early age of 7, playing for Panania East Hills RSL under-10s. However, his first taste of organised sport and competition was East Hills T-Ball League at the age of 6, and also at age 6 he registered for soccer. He continued both soccer and cricket in his adolescence, going on to represent New South Wales school teams in both sports. But after winning a national school carnival of cricket, the demands on both sports were increasing, arising in conflicts between the sports. So Mark went with his gut and determined cricket was the better of the two for him. Some major competitions he was involved in and at what levels. In 1977, Mark captained the New South Wales cricket team to victory in the National School Championship. He made his under-19s Australian cricket team debut in a Test and ODI series against Sri Lanka. He was also a part of many Ashes series for Australia, Ashes series. One in particular was the series in which he made his Test debut, scoring a century. He also played a part in 2 Cricket World Cups in 1996 and 1999. The National School Championship in the year that Mark played in was under the structure that said, if there are 6 or less teams participating, the championship will be played on a round-robin basis, with no finals being played. The round-robin format of a competition is a format which is a good contributor to the sport for all approach, because every team gets a go, playing an even number of games, giving Mark a chance to play many games of the sport he loves without a weekend off, because as he described in his book, he gets very antsy during cricket season if he missed a game or couldn't play for any reason. Though with round-robin tournaments, they are sometimes subject to forfeits. Luckily for Mark, this was not the case, with his competition being a smaller one than normal at the time. As stated in Rokosz 1993 Miscellaneous scheduling considerations, the smaller the league, the fewer contests per entry and the fewer opportunities each entry has to forfeit. The advantages to this type of competition is there is no elimination, meaning even the worst of teams will be able to play the amount of games as everyone else, giving them a chance to develop their skills, and of course all teams play each other at least once, meaning that the best will be able to battle the best as well as the worst of teams. The round-robin format was good for Mark's introduction to state-level competition because he was already accustomed to it at the local level, and meant that he could play the elite of the competition but also be able to play some of the other teams as stated above, giving Mark every opportunity to develop his skills. The format of the Ashes is a series of 5 test matches, therefore whoever wins the most amount of games during the series wins the Ashes. The results of a game can vary between win, loss or draw. The format of the World Cup is the format that has been changed over the amount of years it has been running. The first World Cup tournament was played by 8 teams divided into 2 groups of 4. The competition was composed of a group stage and a knockout stage. During the group stage of the competition, the 4 teams in each group would play each other in a round-robin form of competition, with the top 2 teams of each division progressing into the semi-finals. The 2 winners of the semi-finals would play each other in the final to determine the winner. When Mark Waugh played in his first World Cup, the format had changed, with the 2 groups in the group stage consisting of 6 teams instead of 4, which meant that the format had expanded. For example, the top 4 teams now went through to play in the quarterfinals and then on the semi-finals and so on. A timeline of major sporting achievements. In 1977, Mark Waugh captained the New South Wales cricket team to a victory in the National School Championships. 1984-85 summer, Mark was signed to play over in England's cricket club competition for Edgerton. Mark and his twin brother Stephen Waugh shared a new world record-breaking 460-foot run partnership with the 5th wicket during a Sheffield Shield game against Western Australia. He became the only Australian to score more than 1,000 runs in World Cup competition, and he played in a Sydney first grade final for Bankstown in 1995-96, playing with 3 of his Waugh brothers. At the grassroots level, Mark was introduced to cricket at age 7, playing for the Panania East Hills RSL Under-10s team. He quickly found his feet because of the following year he was being selected to play in his first state representative district cricket team, playing for the Bankstown District Fosters Shield in the Under-10s division. Mark attended East Hills Technology School after that, which had a history of producing Australian international representatives in several sports. It was this school that introduced Mark to club cricket in the form of Bankstown Under-16s cricket team, which played for the Green Shield. This club was a great one for Mark to be introduced to, because the club was part of a competition which had many more grades of competition to progress through. And of course, Mark did just that. He was 13 when he made it into the Under-16s, and then following year he progressed into senior grade, playing in the 4th grade competition. He kept on progressing like this until he reached the pinnacle of his local grassroots level of cricket, playing first grade at age 17. During these stages, Mark got a full taste of what it is like to be part of a club. Being a participant of a traditional or organised sport means that if you become a member of a club, you'll have to pay seasonal fees to the club and will have the expectation to fulfil club duties. And the added bonus of participating in a traditional organised sport, you gain the opportunity to progress from local to elite level, which Mark did. Mark was capable at handling all the responsibilities that went with being a clubsman because of his collectivist view on sport. Collectivism, as defined by Hofstadter, pertains to societies in which people from birth onwards are integrated into strong, cohesive in-groups. The collectivist view was brought onto Mark being born in the period of time when traditional and organised sports was all there was around. So there was a general collectivist view for sport in that period of time. He had said that at a young age, although he had enjoyed playing such sports as tennis, he didn't come to enjoy them nearly as much as cricket or soccer because he was a boy who didn't like the spotlight on him. Mark went on to represent his state at a very young age. In 1977, Mark captained the New South Wales cricket team to a victory in the National School Championship. He then eventually went on to represent the first grade actual New South Wales team at the start of the 84-85 season. The New South Wales Cricket Association giving him the opportunity to develop skills even further and progress to the elite level, being a part of the Australian cricket team. At a national level, Mark had already played for Australia before earning his official Test cap, playing for the Australian Under-19s for a Test and one-day series against Sri Lanka. Mark did eventually make his debut for Australia in one-day internationals in '88. The governing organisation of Cricket Australia allowed him to do so. Mark described his initial experiences, though, of ODI cricket as being a lot different in the 90s, saying it was more of a case of just turning up and getting into it. There was no real planning, and some of the players still found it hard to accept it as real cricket. It was also referred to by the author James Knight as pyjama cricket. Mark did eventually make his Test debut in 1990-91 at the age of 25. Harry Solomons is the man who gave Mark Waugh a job coming out of school. He needed a job outside of school, being that he did not know whether or not his cricket career would take off or be able to sustain a living. Solomons owned and established the Kingsgrove Sports Centre, which is now recognised as the heartbeat of the world's largest chain of specialised cricket stores. Solomons wasn't able to fit Mark into his own store, but was able to land him a job with another cricket administrator, ML Sporting Goods, at Alexandria. Solomons, in the same time, was able to give Mark a hand at grabbing a hold of some sponsorship opportunities that would help him to develop into the New South Wales cricket team. I believe that James Knight had a reasonable understanding of sport delivery systems, only on a few occasions how Mark was able to progress from level to level through these delivery systems, but he did not totally grasp the idea of how they work together to achieve this. I didn't really have a great understanding of the sport delivery systems either before conducting this analysis, besides the work we had done in class. But through the process of this analysis, I've learned a great deal more about how sport delivery systems can work together to develop athletes and the sport itself. I believe the current systems we have in place are pretty effective in comparison to what players like Mark went through in his day and age. In summation, I believe that the sport delivery systems that were in progress when Mark Waugh was developing and playing allowed him to reach his full potential in the sport of cricket, and that today the systems have not changed a great deal in the way that players progress from level to level in the sport of cricket. I now have a greater understanding through looking at Mark's experiences and how the sport delivery systems of why specific tournaments are instrumental in the development of athletes. I also know how specific individuals can have an impact on how an athlete can develop. I believe that after conducting this analysis, I have a better understanding of how the sport delivery systems work to allow sports participants to achieve their potential. Thank you very much.